this is the Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead. Today I'm going to make bacon out of that pork belly. Now of course it's going to take 8 to 10 days, but I'm going to start the video, and magically through editing, by the time you get this video, it'll all be done in about 15 minutes. Store-bought bacon is full of water. They actually impress water into the bacon so that it actually weighs more. If you home cure your bacon, you're going to get a superior bacon for about $3.50 a pound, but it's not going to shrink like your store-bought bacon does when all the water's cooked out of it and all the fat's cooked down. So anyway, I'm going to try something new, and what you're going to need is you're going to need a 10-pound pork belly. Now I got this from this is local pork I bought from a local butcher, and that is 10 pounds, and it cost me $35, which is about $3.50. I have pure Quebec maple syrup. It has to be pure. It can't be table syrup or pancake syrup. It has to say pure maple syrup. I have 3/4 of a cup of that. I have a half a cup of coarse salt. It cannot be iodized. It cannot be table salt. It has to be kosher salt or coarse pickling salt. And a half a cup of brown sugar. And you're going to need some hefty Ziploc bags. So first of all, obviously this piece of meat is not going to fit into this bag, so I am going to cut my piece of meat roughly in half. Now what we're going to do first is we are going to cure this meat, and what that means basically, you don't have to smoke it once it's cured. We're just going to smoke it for flavors. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that pretty? One thing that's going to be missing in this bacon that is also in store-bought bacon is the nitrate. Nitrates, even in small quantities, are really bad for you, and all they do, the sodium nitrite, all it does is makes this meat stay pinker, but you don't need it, folks. And it's toxic. So why would you willingly put toxins in your body if you don't need them? The only preservatives we need are Mother Nature's own salt and sugar. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to mix our half a cup of kosher salt, our half a cup of packed brown sugar, and our 3/4 of a cup of maple syrup, pure maple syrup. Now what you see here is a bag of gloves. When I rub salt into the hides of my rabbit skins, they really did a number on my hands. Not to mention that it's sticky. So all we're going to do is we are going to mix this mixture and rub it into our pork bellies, and then we are going to put it in the Ziploc bag in our fridge for 7 days. And we're going to turn it over every day. Now what this is going to do, when they say cure the bacon, what they mean is the salt in this mixture is going to pull the water out of the meat. This is going to be lovely bacon. And once this is cured, you can actually just rinse it off and slice it and cook it. But we're going to go a step further, and we're going to smoke it. My husband doesn't know yet that he has to build a smoker, but that's okay. He'll rise to the occasion. The Wolfie always does. Now we've got this nicely coated. Want to make sure we get all of the surface and it's rubbed right in. Now like I said, we are just going to place this seasoned pork belly in the bag, and we're just going to take the rest and put it in there and make sure we don't want to waste any. Like I said, I used a little more maple syrup than I should have maybe done, a little more brown sugar or whatever, but it doesn't matter. This is my first attempt, and I'm really hoping that I do a smash up job for you all. We're going to put this in the fridge, and we'll be back magically shortly when it's time to rinse this and then set it back in the fridge. Bye-bye. Good morning, everyone. This is day 7 for the curing of our bacon, and as you can see, it's been in the bags of cures now for 7 days. And it's got all this liquid that the salt has pulled out of the meat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse these off, and I'm going to put them on this tray, and I'll explain why in just a minute. Alrighty folks, here is our washed bacon. What we're going to do is we're going to put this rack in the fridge. Now this tray, they're sitting on wire racks so that air can circulate around them. And forgive me, I forget what the French word is, but what this is going to do is it's going to sit in the fridge for an hour, and it's going to develop like a dry, not a skin, but it is a skin. But all the surface is going to dry. And then we're going to poke some holes through this and thread it with butcher string, and Papa is going to smoke it either tonight or tomorrow in a smoker, because this has to sit though 12 to 24 hours in the fridge. And we have chosen apple wood for our smoke. Remember folks, no nitrates. This is the way it used to be done. Sugar, salt, and smoke. Alright, and we'll be back when this stuff goes in and comes out of the smoker. Okay folks, our bacon has now been rinsed and has been sitting in the fridge for 24 hours. Papa's going out to build a smoker. Now, the reason that you set it on a rack and you let it dry for 24 hours is the smoke will not stick if the bacon's wet. So, I mean, it has to get this little kind of skin on it. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just poking a hole through the rind of the skin with a sharp knife because my knitting needle wouldn't go through that. It needed to be quite sharp. There we go. Now let's try it with the darning needle. Okay, I suppose I should have been doing this in the first place, but I can't grab the needle with my fingers because I can't grip it. So I'm just put this rubber glove on, and we're just going to tie the string off here. And we just want to make a series of loose loops so that when it comes time to hang it, we have something to put the S-hooks to. Now there's fancy hangers that you can buy that have hooks that you can, but you know what? Butcher string is butcher string, and I don't need to spend any more money than I got because that just puts up the price of what you're doing. And what I'm doing, what this is called a blanket stitch, because people used to edge their blankets with this to stop them from fraying. All you do is you leave that loop and you pull this through like this, and then we have one more. You want your bacon to hang as evenly as possible so it will smoke evenly. Then I'm going to do this other one, and we're going to go out and check on the progress of Papa with the smoker. Now I just want to show you that this blanket stitch is made so that I can put hooks in here like this and hang it in the smoker with some S-hooks made out of a coat hanger. Not fancy, but it'll do the job. We'll be back. Now here's our wood chips soaking in water. These are apple wood. And now, don't be me, I went out and actually paid $5 for this. All I had to do was cut a green branch off of a maple tree and just, you know, cut it up into little pieces like a 1-inch branch, and just, but I didn't think of that, so we're going to use apple wood. Alrighty, there we go. Let's go outside and see what Papa's doing. This is a crate my husband brought back from work. He works in a body shop, and a lot of times parts will come in these great big wooden crates. And being as it's almost the size of an outhouse, this I think will work really good as a smoker. And he's got some plywood here, and he's about to get working on it. So we'll just have a cup of tea and visit with him while he does it. Dad's confiscated my old enamel baby bathtub. He's going to put coals in the bottom of that, and then we'll put our thing with our chips on it. There's our fire, so that we're going to dig some coals out of that and put them in this old enamel baby bathtub, and on it we're going to put some charcoal, and then we're going to put our little box of applewood chips that I've had smoked. Hey, look at this wonderful smoker, folks. Look at this. This is just a ledge for the doors to sit on, and then one board's going to hold that door in peace. We'll show it all to you in a minute. This looks marvelous, darling. Here's the board with the wires that we're going to hang through the string that I've done. Actually, I probably could put those coat hangers right through the meat if I wanted to, but that'll make it harder to take off afterwards. There's our soaked applewood chips. Take it from that wood. See where it's glowing red if you can? Right there, perfect. Yeah. We're getting a fine, nice smoke out of that. There's our little pan of apple wood. Alright, we'll let that start to do its thing. You gonna put the bottom door on? The top door on. That'll work nicely. One up, one down. Smoke's coming nicely out of the top.
Smoker.
All right, let's put these puppies to bed. Let's see how much smoke we got going on in there. Beauties. Smells nice too. Don't matter as long as there's smoke, Howie. Well, it depends on what you're hanging, right? And there's one. Now ideally you want your smoker to get to 200 degrees and you want your meat to get to the internal temperature of 140 degrees. However, back in the days of Laura Ingalls Wilder, they didn't have internal meat temperatures. So you just had to go by how long you had it in the smoke. Beautiful. Just beautiful. There it is, folks, coming off the rack. We're going to take it in the house and we're going to slice this off a couple of pieces and fry one up and let you find out just how good this stuff tastes. Now we've cut this in half because this is just a little slicer but there you go, folks. Isn't that just the prettiest bacon you've ever seen? And I can't wait to try it. Guess what's for breakfast tomorrow?
Bacon.
And eggs. And home canned potatoes. There we go, folks. Home smoked bacon. Doesn't get any better than that. Amen. Okay, folks. Here's the end of the video. We are going to have a real homestead breakfast this morning with our own fresh laid eggs, our own homegrown, home canned potatoes, and our home cured, home smoked bacon. So, I just want to show you that when this cooks, now we've cut our slices really small because, well, my slicer doesn't make those nice big long slices that you see in the store. There's what the bacon looks like all in the pan. So look at that, folks. That bacon's almost cooked and there is almost no shrinkage. And there it is, folks. Home cured, home smoked bacon, homegrown, home canned potatoes, home raised eggs, homemade bread, homemade green tomato marmalade, and ketchup. For what we're about to receive, may we be truly grateful. Amen. Okay, Howie, give it the taste test. There you go, folks. A thumbs up from Papa. You know what, folks? If I can do this on a consistent basis, I will never eat store-bought bacon again. It's just so full of flavor and hardly any shrinkage. It's really amazing. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead saying, once again, doesn't get any better than this. Bye-bye.